This wasn't the first time she'd been kicked off the school bus, but it was her first time being suspended for riding it to school again. But she wasn't concerned. The family had a car. She came home to tell her dad, "Daddy, you're going to have to take me to school next week." But instead of complying with her demands, her dad decided to teach her a lesson she'd never forget.
Hello, wonderful people. I'm Scott Leffler for WonderBot. And here is
Girl banned from bus, so dad teaches her a lesson she'll never forget.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
This was the second time that Kirsten, a 10-year-old Ohio girl, had been sent off the bus, and her father, Matt Cox, was not having any of it. Let me make this extremely clear. This is unacceptable, especially in my household, Matt said. And he had a plan to make sure Kirsten knew he meant it. Matt says he believes that children have too much entitlement, that things are given to them whether they're earned or not. Being kicked off the bus for bad behavior does not make you entitled to a private car drive down to school every day. No, he had something much better in store for her. Now, some might say that a 3-day suspension from school rides was punishment enough. But really, there's no difference between a car drive or a bus ride, except that the car is probably more comfortable and relaxed. The irony wasn't lost on Matt, so the angry dad decided to do something a little more unorthodox. But he wasn't expecting to become famous overnight. The interesting part is that, for some reason, Matt recorded his daughter while she received her punishment, all the while giving commentary on everything. He explained why she was getting punished, what he expected her to learn from the punishment, and even himself saying, "I know a lot of you parents are not going to agree with this, and that's all right." Matt uploaded the video to his personal Facebook account, expecting only those of his friends to see it. One of those friends asked him to make it shareable so that he could share it, and the rest is history. 350,000 shares later, and Matt had to make his profile completely private to stop the sheer amount of messages. Matt wasn't expecting the backlash on social media as his video and story went viral, chalking up over 15 million views and over 100,000 comments. He states in an interview that he only expected his friends on Facebook to see it, but the next morning he woke up to hundreds of messages in his inbox, and in a strange twist, they were calling him the bully. While some parents are supportive, others are outraged by what they're calling too much. Matt posted the video of his daughter on Facebook with the caption, "Life Lessons." In the video, Cox said a lot of children today feel that things their parents do for them are right and not a privilege. In his mind, he was holding his daughter accountable. Despite the backlash, however, Cox stood by the punishment. "I'm doing what I think is right to teach my daughter a lesson to stop her from bullying. Parents need to hold their kids accountable. I'm not going to be another parent that's just going to brush things under the rug," he explained. "I just want the kids to know that words truly do hurt. They cut very deep and have lasting effects." So what was everyone so upset about? A lot of children today feel that the things their parents do for them is a right and not a privilege, such as parents taking their children to school in the morning, or even bus rides to school in the morning, Matt says to the camera. All of that is a privilege and should be treated as such. So today, my beautiful daughter is going to walk 5 miles to school in 36-degree weather. I'm pretty sure everyone has a parent or grandparent who started a story with the phrase, "When I was your age, we walked 10 miles in snow with no shoes." Or, "When I was your age, if we talked back to our parents, we got our mouth washed out with soap." They're typically used by older adults to convey how conditions have changed over an extended period of time to younger people. But the truth is that virtually no one used to drive to school. But what did Kirsten do to deserve this? So, in the 36-degree cold weather, Kirsten trudged to school, all 5 miles. Albeit, Matt split the walk up over 3 days of the suspension. So, Kirsten actually only walked 1.5 miles for 3 consecutive mornings. This gave her more than enough time to think about the consequences of her actions. She'd been banned from the bus for bullying a classmate, and bullying, after all, hurts others. Matt wasn't about to let his beautiful girl get hurt or compromise her safety either. He drove steadily behind her all the way. But a free ride to school every day was something that Matt thought she took for granted. Matt relates his views on parenting. Parents need to hold their kids accountable. So that was me showing how I'm holding my kid accountable. Matt said his daughter was upset when she first started walking on Monday. During the walk, he talked to his daughter about how her actions were the reason she was walking. He said by the end of the walk she'd calmed down and realized that if she hadn't bullied others, she would still be on the bus. This was the second time his daughter Kirsten had gotten in trouble for teasing other kids. And Matt isn't the only dad to have dished out this kind of punishment. Another child, a 10-year-old boy from Virginia, was also made to jog to school for a week by his dad, Brian Thornhill. The school was a mile away, and his son had also been banned from the school bus for bullying. He named the video, "You Better Listen to Your Dad 2018, and has even more views, shares, and comments than Matt's has. He too is sticking to his guns about his method of punishment, and you can watch the video of the boy keeping a steady 6 miles an hour with his dad driving behind. The video happens to be in the drizzle, but they were intending on driving him that day until he was rude to his mother in the morning. It was then decided that he would run to school even in that morning's rain. The matter was even discussed on a talk show. While most of the comments are in support of children learning that bullying is not an option, there are more than a few that condemn the punishment altogether. Lee J. Wilkins says, "Love it. I plan on showing this to my oldest child to show her that I'm not a mean parent, but that misbehaving won't be tolerated. I'm not doing my job if I just let it slide." Well, Ariana Jade commented, "Makes sense why his kid's a bully. Who knows, maybe it will work for this kid, but it wouldn't work for many that I've worked with. In fact, it could make him act out more." But despite supporters on both sides, it seems that punishment has seemed to work, even if just for the moment. In fact, here's what both parents have said about their kids. From Lee. "This right here is just simple. Ironically, since he's been running to school this week, his behavior's been better. His teachers have approved of his behavior this week. He hasn't gotten in trouble. Whereas last week, he was just absolutely out of his mind." And from Matt? Well, Matt updated his Facebook post saying, "Life lessons. Update, lesson learned. Still has all her extremities intact, is happy and healthy, and seems to have a new outlook on bullying, as well as a new appreciation for some of the simpler things in life she used to take for granted." Matt even used the comments, both positive and negative, to educate his kids on the effects bullying has. She, along with my other 2 children, seemed to show a great deal of empathy towards some of the sad stories that I read with them. I also hope that parents see the video and start holding their kids accountable for their actions and stop sweeping their child's actions under the rug with the ideology that kids will be kids. We as parents need to stop the bullying on the home front because bullying only breeds bullying, Matt said.